the idea of addressing all this stuff while you're in school, because it's a safe environment, it's where you learn the stuff, it's where you get it all together. And it's where you also start formulating your ideas about what you want to do in the world. Now, it can be a little tough when you're from a small area that doesn't have a lot of stuff that's going on, right? So what you want to do is look outside where you are so that you can see what options exist elsewhere. The internet is wonderful for this. One at a time. So you do 4 bars of that. It's not bad enough that you're working on coordination. He makes you sing. You have to sing a jazz standard while you're playing. So he's making you learn the melodies of the tunes so that you know what they are, and everything you're playing is in relation to that tune. So his whole system of teaching you technique on the drum set is based upon a musical context for every single performance. Because the weather changes. Everybody talks about plastic heads impervious to weather changes. No. They're way better than calf, man. Calf would be like insane. But plastic. So 10 minutes before every show, I'm in there with my tuner, zeroing out my gauges. I have to play every single pitch on those drums from low E to high E. All like 13. Chromatic stuff. So I gotta have all of those gauges set across the thing, because there's no time to check the pitches. You're playing the drums, because they want to downsize the orchestras that make the percussionists really busy. I'm the drummer, half the percussion stuff went in the mallet part, the keyboard parts, they're playing the xylophone stuff, but I'm playing some of the other stuff. I played Adam's Family in LA with him 10 years ago, and we had an awesome time. When we did the rehearsal in LA, the regular guys were laid off because it's a Rule 24 city, which means the union is strong enough to demand that you have to use the locals. So the traveling guys will get laid off. Hey, everybody. So Trey was the bass player. In the rehearsal at the Pantages Theater, I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. There's Wayne Bergeron, there's Andy Martin, there's Trey Henry, there's all these cats who I know from all the records. I'm like, here I am playing with these guys. This is not bad. I'm having a great time. And Trey was so easy to play with. As drummers, when you get a bass player who's got a similar sense of time, what a treat that is. You don't have to fight. You don't have to go like, hey, where are you going? No, come along with me. The bass player doesn't hate you because your time is different than his. Trey and I were like this. So I was like, man, this is awesome. I called him up. I said, hey, I want to do a trio record. He's like, where? When? So I also got a trombone player, a friend of mine from there, who I'd last seen in Japan. He was playing with Gordon Goodman's band. I was in Japan doing West Side Story. And so I saw them at the Blue Note in Japan, and I was talking to the guys, and it turns out it's Charlie Merlis. I'm like, Charlie. He's like, Paul, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm doing West Side over in this 360-degree thing. Anyway, so the music business is smaller than you might ever think. And if you get out into parts of it, you're going to find that you're connected to other parts of it all over the place. And the great thing about touring is that I've interacted and worked with so many great musicians that I can call them up, and we can do creative projects. Who's guiding you along, hopefully in a supportive way, pointing those things out and helping you overcome them, right? And is not berating you or making you feel bad about them, because that's a lot of teachers used to make you feel like crap because you didn't know something. They don't teach anymore. The whole generation of being able to present the materials and help people grow is essential. So guidance from a teacher, and then eventually when you get out of the university system, you got to do this stuff yourself. So practicing, you got to practice, right? How do you practice? When I went to school, you threw hours at it because nobody talked about the science of practicing. It didn't exist.